be awake in the morning.
But it is always
it is just the best.
better. Me and my I really couldn't give a shit hair today, but you know, whatever.
If that's your I don't give a shit hair, then that's wild for you to say, because it's so cute.
If I put it down, I have to fix it. So when I don't give a shit and I don't want to mess with it, pull it up in a clip and I don't have to mess with it.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Woo! Works for me. Woo!
Woo! Get some cold cuts. Get some cold cuts.
We're back!
We're back! And we're ready to talk about books, baby! Oh man, I know you guys missed us, obviously. So sorry for our hiatus that we had there.
Yeah.
I have no excuse. Kind of failed at books? I don't know. I don't know what our excuse is. We just didn't. We didn't talk.
We didn't. We didn't.
We really
Actually, for like almost a month.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. Oh my god.
I don't know. We made it. I don't know. We survived.
Well, we hit the whole like 2 months in a row. Excuse me while I fix this. 2 months in a row of where we couldn't do book club on the day that we were supposed to. And that just like
it derailed everything.
It really does.
It really
so
did.
we really just need to like prepare for that and just go, look, we just know we're not going to be here this month.
Yeah.
And not even try.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Not that we really tried this time, but you know.
Yeah, we put in some effort. So
We at least had a few texts saying we probably should do something. And then didn't.
Yeah, we had a brief little meeting on 4th of July being like, man, we really should put a video together, because, you know, we didn't for like a whole month. And then we also did not put anything out in July.
Well, our meeting was like looking at each other going, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
That was it.
Facts.
Yeah.
We should probably do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
We'll see you later.
So, you know, happy 4th of July.
Yeah.
Fireworks are starting. Time for me to go.
Yep. Oh, man. But anyway, with all that said, we are back. We did actually have a real meeting where we planned out some videos.
We did.
So hopefully we are going to be back on a schedule of getting at least one video out every week. You know, at least more than one video a month. At least a video every month. That's the main goal.
We have a list.
We have a list.
We have a list. That's more than we've done in a while. So.
Yeah. So we're doing better.
All right.
We're getting better.
We are.
But today's video is going to be a wrap-up of the books that we read in June and July, since we missed doing a wrap-up for June, and you know, we're already halfway through August, so we should probably talk about the books that we read. All of them. We did talk a little bit about some of them that we read in July, because we did Summerween this year, so it will be a repeat on some of those books, but we read a lot more than just those.
We did.
July was actually a very busy month.
We sure did. And who cares if it's late for a wrap up? It's always a good time to talk about books.
Exactly. It's never a bad time.
Never.
All right.
Okay.
Well, let's get into
our
books. And this is going to be a combination of both June and July together. Instead of just being like, here's what we read in June and here's what we read in July.
Yeah.
Just put it all together. Make it easy. Okay. Do you want to kick us off?
Sure. Okay, so what I read, I have to put these in somewhat order because these go in order. I should have done this part first, actually. Okay, so I'm gonna get these all out of the way right off the bat. All of my Dresden Files reading. So I read number 10, Small Favors, number 11, Turncoat, 13, Changes, 14, Ghost Story, 15, Cold Days, and 16, Peace Talks.
Did you not read 12?
Okay.
Did you not read 12? You said 10, 11,
12, 13, 14. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Like,
so,
wait.
okay.
You
Small
skipped
Favor 10, Turncoat 11, Changes 12, Ghost Story 13, Cold Days 14, Peace Talks 15.
So
wow, who knew this could be so hard? That is not right. What? I could be missing a book. 13, 14. Oh, I did miss one. Oh, shit. You know what? I'm just gonna go with the numbers and just go, okay, where's that book?
Okay.
Okay, so I missed a book. I'm not gonna redo my numbers. So I'm just not even gonna do that because that's way too much trouble.
You know, we could just skip numbers entirely for this wrap up and just go right to say what books you read and talk about them.
The numbers girl doesn't want to do numbers?
I mean, I love.
After you had to redo your numbers?
I know, I did have to redo my numbers, and my numbers are really good this week.
Well, let's do the damn numbers.
But now
Okay.
your numbers are wrong.
It's okay, because we'll only be off by, I mean, by the time you average out, what, 350 pages over 15 books, it's not like it's gonna be that big a deal. Okay, so, here, it's just these. It's just those right there. I read like, I don't know, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I read 10 through whatever, 16. Dresden Files. Okay, that left me with 1 to catch up before the new book comes out. Okay, so those. I also read The Hollow Places by T. Kingfisher, What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez, The Undercutting of Rosie and Adam by Megan Bannon, Where They Last Saw Her by Marcy Rendon, The Crane Husband by Kelly Barnhill, The Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Cañas, and books I don't have physical of, Murder Your Employer by Rupert Holmes, Everyone on This Train is a Suspect by Benjamin Stevenson, and that's it.
Nailed it.
So I had 15 books. I'm not going to go back over all my star ratings. I had an average of 4.1. It would have been better, but I gave this book like 2.5 stars, so I brought the average down. Yes. It was a sad day. I was all set to really, really, really like that book.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Spoiler. Spoiler, yeah.
I didn't.
Okay. I read 11 books between June and July. We have Murder Your Employer by Rupert Holmes, which I gave 3 stars to. Zombie Bake Off by Stephen Graham Jones, 3 stars. The Salt Grows Heavy by Cassandra Caw, which I gave 4 stars. Every Vow You Break by Peter Swanson, which I gave 3.5 stars, which I didn't realize I rated so high, but we're gonna roll with it. Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody, which I gave 3.5 stars to.
Maybe.
Yes, 3.5 stars. I was gonna say, I kind of like that book. Then I also read the first 2 books in the Summer I Turned Pretty series. So The Summer I Turned Pretty and It's Not Summer Without You by Jenny Han. I gave both of them 3 stars, and they only got 3 stars because I really like the show. The books are not good. Scythe and Sparrow by Brynn Weaver, which I gave 3 stars to. I also read The Monstrumologist by Rick Yancey, which I gave 3.5 stars to. And then I read 2 more books in Finlay Donovan. I did Finlay Donovan Rolls the Dice and Finlay Donovan Digs Her Own Grave by Elle Cosimano, and I gave both of those books 4 stars.
Ooh.
JK, I also read another book in the Finlay Donovan series, and it was Finlay Donovan Jumps the Gun, and I gave that 4 stars. So I had an average rating of 3.5 stars for my 2 months. Yay.
Okay, so pages.
Pages.
Basically, I read 5,330 pages for the 2 months, which, you know, add another 350 to that because of the book I forgot, but whatever. We're gonna roll with this. It's not gonna change the average that much, which is 381 pages per book. My shortest book was The Crane Husband, Kelly Barnhill, and my longest book was, where's it at? Cold Days by Jim Butcher, which rolled in at 515 pages.
It's a big boy.
It is a big one.
I read a total of 3,774 pages, I think, for an average book length of 343 pages. My longest book was The Monstrumologist at like almost 500 pages, and the shortest book was The Salt Grows Heavy at around like 250. I think. I don't know. I never write these down. You would think I would learn by now that I need to write down the pages.
It's okay. It's a little book.
It's just a baby.
It's the baby. All about a cannibalistic mermaid, but it's just a baby.
It's a baby. It's so cute.
Others. So I had 5 authors new to me in the 2 months. Rupert Holmes, Isabella Banyas, Kelly Barnhill, Marcy Rendon, and Isabel Kanyas. And surprisingly, even though I gave one of those authors' books a 2.5 star, I think I would read from her again. That's Marcy Rendon. From other reviews I've read, this seemed like an outlier kind of book for her. So, I mean, I'm interested enough in her subject matter that I think I would give it another try. All of the others are definite. I would definitely. Most of them I am going to. And then I had 4 repeat authors. Jim Butcher, which of course I read multiples of. T. Kingfisher, Benjamin Stevenson, and Megan Bannon. And yep, we'll continue on with all of that.
Okay, I had 5 authors that were new to me. Jenny Han, Peter Swanson, Rick Yancey, Amanda Foody, and Rupert Holmes. I will be reading from Rick Yancey and Amanda Foody again because I am going to be continuing on to the next books. Is that proper grammar? To the next ones in the series. I'm going to read the next ones.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just thought I probably should have turned the air conditioner off. Do you think it's getting too much background noise?
It's too late now. Hopefully you can hear us.
I could turn it off. It's cool enough anyway. I'll turn it off for now, and then.
Okay.
At least for the rest of it, for the important part, talking about books, we'll be silent. Hi, kitten. Hey, me. Hello, fat girl. What are you doing? Oh, yes. Show me your belly that you don't want me to scratch.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Okay, so yeah, I will be reading from Rick Yancey and Amanda Foody again. Peter Swanson is a maybe. Probably I'm not going to like go out and search for his books, but if one comes across that sounds interesting, I'll give it a shot. Jenny Han, I'm gonna probably say no. I really like the show, but the books were not good. And Rupert Holmes is also a no for me. I did have some repeat authors. We had Bryn Weaver, Stephen Graham Jones, El Cosimano. I don't remember if there was anyone else, but I will read from all of those again, for sure.
You don't have Cassandra Kwan on your list of news.
Oh, yeah, so Cassandra Kaw was also a new author. Thank you. I will read from her again, 100%.
I was so excited. I was just like, it's one of those things that you're so like abnormally invested in. Like, it does not absolutely matter. We disagree on books all the time. But I just like, I so want her to like this book. And she did. Okay. All right. Genres. So I had 10 fantasy books, one which was also romantasy, and one that has historical fantasy in that 10. And then in mystery, thriller, horror, I had 5. Not much variation there.
That's okay, I got the variation for us.
All right.
So I had 1 thriller, 1 romance, 2 YA romance, 1 YA horror, 1 horror, 4 mystery, and 1 fantasy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We were all over the place.
I guess so. A little variation there.
Yeah, just a smidge.
A little.
Couldn't quite figure out what I wanted to read, I guess.
Just a little.
Yeah.
All right. In my formats, I had 2 ebooks and 13. I can't math. 13 physical books.
I'm always so shocked by how many books you read physically in a month. It's like, I could never. I don't know how you do it.
Well, again, 7 were rereads. Well, not quite, actually. Probably 5 were rereads. And those always go faster because, you know, you kind of know what's coming and
yeah,
just skim them a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I had 2 ebooks, 8 audiobooks, and 1 physical book. I had to make sure my math was mathing on that.
Right?
So, yay.
All right.
Okay.
So, the books.
The books.
Okay, so, for Summer Ween, which we already did a video on, I read Where They Last Saw Her by Marcy Rendon, which I gave 2.5 stars to. The Crane Husband by Kelly Barnhill, which I gave 4 stars to. And Isabel Cañas, The Vampires of El Norte, which I don't remember. I think I gave it 5 stars. I think. I didn't go back and look at the video, but I'm pretty sure I gave it 5 stars. So I'm really not going to talk much about these. This I really loved. I really did. And it's actually a like horror romance kind of book. There is a romance pretty heavily. It's much more than just a subplot. And I actually liked it. Amazingly enough, because it was real. And like the characters had real problems with each other that they had to work through. And they had real problems with past traumas. It was all very real. And I liked that the vampires were unusual in this book. I will say, I said it in that video, but I'm going to repeat it too, because I really thought from reviews and watching other content people that one of the characters ran away and was gone for like 7 years, and when he comes back and meets up with the other main character, she's changed. But yeah, she did, but not into a vampire. So I'm just gonna say slightly disappointed in that. But I did like that. I liked the historical context of the book too. I liked the fact that there was all kinds of vampires in this book, not just your monster type variety. So I really, really like that book. The Crane Husband is like a magical realism fantasy kind of book. About 2 children. Well, the main character is a 15-year-old girl, and she's like the main caretaker because her dad is dead and her mom is very absent, doesn't really wrapped up in her own self. So she's kind of the caretaker for her mom and her 6-year-old brother. And her mom is like an artist, so she's real like, you know, very free, very high-spirited kind of person, and she generally always like brings home men pretty regularly. If you've ever watched Elementary, and you know that there's every once in a while there's a scene of Joan in the kitchen making coffee, and this woman comes out of Sherlock's bedroom and Joan already has a to-go cup of coffee. That's kind of what this 15-year-old does not care. She just doesn't care. She's like, you want breakfast? Here you go, get out. But then one day her mom brings home a crane and insists that the children call him father and treat him like a father. So it is loosely based on The Crane Wife, which is a Japanese fairy tale. So that's why The Crane. It's kind of like that. But so it's a story about domestic violence, and it was predictable, which is why I kind of only gave it 4 stars. But the way it got there, and the writing and the story itself, and the way this 15-year-old manipulates, like, everybody to get what she wants is amazing. When They Last Saw Her by Marcy Rendon. It's a story about like Native American women going missing, but unfortunately it was less a thriller and more commentary. So there you go. I think I said in my video that if she had written a non-fiction book on the topic, it would have been perfect, but as a thriller it just wasn't. Okay, I am not also going to talk about the Jim Butcher books individually because you can't. Getting this far into the series, too much would be spoilers. But the Dresden Files is a series of books about Harry Dresden, who is a wizard, and he is Chicago's only professional wizard. Like, he advertises himself as a wizard to be a private detective. The further you get into the series, the less the private detecting happens, but there's still usually a mystery to be involved. And up until Changes, which I don't remember which book that was, 12 I think, remember 12? That's a big turning point in the series that kind of puts Harry Dresden off on a different sort of path than just the scraping by private investigator living in Chicago, protecting his city kind of thing. And that's a big one. I gave that one 5 stars because I have always loved that book. There's a couple of problematic things in there, but the fact that up until that point, I mean, I always go off on how Brandon Sanderson is like a plotting king. Well, Jim Butcher's pretty dang good too. You know, he has set Harry's character up for like 12 books to the point where in Changes, everything that happens in that book is designed because of the character, the way it's been set up through previous books to make it so Harry has to do what he does.
That's crazy.
And it's not a good thing. But you know where it comes from, because the pressure that's put on him is stuff that's been set up for 10 books or 11 books previously. That's always been one of my favorites, and I thought like the most explosive. After that you get Ghost Story, which has never exactly been one of my favorites. It's not bad, but it's I think a transitional book after what happens in Changes to continue on to the next one. And I honestly thought that he couldn't get a whole lot bigger than what happened in Changes. Each book is a little bit explosive in its own way, but like, I always thought Changes was like the nuclear bomb sort of explosion. But then I got to Peace Talks. And holy shit. It's ramping up. I did give Peace Talks, I think, only 4. Yeah, 4. Because it's actually half of a book. I think that Peace Talks and the next one, Battleground, were supposed to be a single book, but he thought it was too long, because together it would have been almost 700 pages. So I think he thought it was too long, so he broke them into 2 books. So that is literally the only book in the series so far anyway that has a cliffhanger. So, Number 17 is coming out later, no, like next year, January or something like that. And he's always said there will be 20 books in the main series, and then there will be an apocalyptic trilogy to finish it off. And I'm thinking, after what I just finished, you're gonna get more? Damn. Damn. Anyway, like I said, I can't really talk specifics about the books because it would just spoil everything that came before. So let's see, Murder Your Employer by Rupert Holmes. I ended up giving that one, I think, 3.5 stars. It is about a guy that attempts to murder his boss and does a pretty crappy job of it. And he thinks he's being chased by police, so he's trying to escape. And when he gets caught up, turns out they're not. They're representatives from this secret school that will teach you how to murder your employer and get away with it.
Well, not murder.
Oh yeah, they don't call him employer either, do they?
No. Oh my gosh.
What is it? Yeah, they have very euphemistic terms through the whole book.
Deletists. They delete people.
Yeah. So they teach you how to be a deletist, not a murderer, a deletist, because some people need to be just deleted. I think they don't call him. They don't call him employer either. I don't think.
Like
it's something else. Anyway, there's a lot of terms that they use, but yeah,
I don't remember.
So he goes with them, and so like the first half of this book is about training. And also, I can't even remember the guy's name. What was his name? Cliff. That's right. So, I mean, I don't know. I just wasn't very interested in the school type stuff. It was just...
I feel like it could have just been better. Like, I don't know. It was kind of just slow and boring when we were at the school.
Yeah.
And it had some good parts, but overall, I just expected more from McMaster's.
Yeah.
Like, that section.
Yeah.
Because... I mean, that was the big chunk of the book, was them at McMaster's, like, learning how to delete somebody effectively. And I feel like, even though it was such a big part of the book, we still didn't get a lot from there, if that makes sense. Like, we were there, but we weren't, like, really
in it. Well, and Cliff is the main character, but there was, like, 3 storylines that it followed, because there was the actress, and then there was the other Gemma.
Gemma, Cliff, and I don't remember her names.
I don't know, because she had 2 different names, because there was her real name, but then she was at McMaster's under a...
Dulcie?
She was under an alias at McMaster's, so I don't know, one of those. Anyway, there was like 3, and honestly, the actress's story was the one I liked the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, 100%.
It really was.
That one was good.
So, yeah, they're all at this school, and Cliff really likes... There's a whole storyline about Cliff liking Gemma, and...
Yeah, which I didn't think was very well done.
No, I didn't either.
I didn't feel anything for that.
No.
I was like, I'm not rooting for it because I don't know what's happening here.
No, and especially at the end. You know, I just didn't feel like that relationship was set up well enough to justify the end.
You know, it wasn't far enough along.
Yeah.
For that, no.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So, what I did like, though, was when they actually were graduated and they were out and they were making their plans, and I think I told you at the time, it really, to me, felt like a reverse Knives Out.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, not trying to solve the mystery, but showing you
how they
did it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I liked that part. And the end, I mean, I was surprised by the end. So I thought it was good. I liked the end because it did surprise me.
Yeah. I think the very beginning of the book and the end were the best parts of the book. And that's why I gave it 3 stars. Everything in between was just kind of like, it drug on, and that was, I think, also why I, like, didn't finish it on time. Because this was supposed to be our book club book.
Yeah,
that we were supposed to talk about, you know, first Sunday in July, and it was my pick. And then I'm like, well, I haven't finished it. So we're like, oh, we'll do it next week. And then I didn't finish it until, like, the very end of July or something like that. Because, yeah, I just was, like, bored with it in the middle part.
Yeah. The school part was just not...
It was not it.
It really wasn't.
Sadly. Better luck next time, Rupert.
Yeah. So then I read The Undercutting of Rosie and Adam by Megan Bannon, which is the 3rd book in the Tanria series.
The newest one.
The newest one, which started with the undertaking of Heart and Mercy and then continued with the undermining of Twyla and Frank. And we are now finishing with the undercutting of Rosie and Adam. And I gave this one 4 stars.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it better than Twyla and Frank, but I didn't like it as much as Heart and Mercy.
Well, it's hard for a book to be as good as Heart and Mercy.
It really...
That book, if I could give that book 10 stars, I would. Oh my gosh, it's
she
perfection.
did like knock it out of the park with that one, so follow-up was difficult. And I felt like I didn't like Twyla and Frank as much because it was fluffy. It was just fluffy. You know, the main threat in Heart and Mercy was over, and so it just never felt like there was a realistic problem in that book. But it did introduce you to some interesting aspects of Tanria. So that continued on in here. And in this book, Rosie is they used to be marshals. I don't remember what they call them now. Maybe they don't call them marshals. Rangers. Park rangers. They're all park rangers now because Tanria is basically like a national park nowadays. So I think they're all park rangers, and Rosie spends a lot of time complaining about her uniform. But Tanria is a place on this island that they live that is surrounded by an impenetrable mist that you can't get through. It cannot be penetrated. That's what the M word means, but I can't say the I M word. So we're gonna go with that. But this guy Adam had figured out how to create gates that would open the mist, and so people could go into Tanria. Well, the gates are now all failing. And so Adam himself, the creator, has to come out and figure out what's going on. And I don't think it's a spoiler to say. Yes, it is a spoiler to say. They end up in a situation. So, I really enjoyed it. The threat was much more real. In this book, there was actually, like, you know, life-threatening consequences. I think that the lore that has been set up through the other 2 books bears fruit in this book, so you kind of get a more understanding. I think the only thing that I would say about it is that she could have done more in the first 2 books instead of, it felt a little dumpy in this book. Like, you've heard the story, but yet she really dumped a lot into this book of the reality of the world. So I think she could have paced that a little bit better through the whole trilogy. But I did like the characters for the most part. I think Rosie was a little too, I think Rosie was supposed to be one of those, like, bigger than life kind of characters, very brash, very I live my life my way and in your face and shocking, and it just didn't always come out well. And so I don't know, but there was a twist at the end about the characters that I thought was interesting, and the fact that Rosie is a demigod that cannot die, and so she's always getting killed. The other characters, Ducker especially. Duckers is her current partner. And so he's especially like, will you stop dying on me? It's hard on my heart. I don't like it when you die.
Oh, poor Duckers.
So Duckers is not as funny in this book as he was in Twyla and Frank, but he has a much larger storyline in this book.
I'd love to see it.
So you get to see a Duckers arc come full circle as well.
We love Duckers here.
We do love Duckers. And then, I don't know, at the very end, there was a weird sort of event that I don't think really needed to happen because it kind of left me feeling, but whatever. On the whole, I really liked it, and I think it was a good ending for the trilogy. Lord almighty. Whoop. What the River Knows by Isabella Bañez is about a girl whose parents, they're all from South America, but her parents are Egyptologists, so they're always leaving her with her aunt and cousins to go off to Egypt every year they spend half the year in Egypt. And even when they come home, it's like they're all about preparing for their next trip to Egypt or talking about Egypt. And so this girl, Inez, is always like dreaming about the day when her parents will let her go to Egypt with them. And they never do. They're always telling her she can't go, it's too dangerous for her to go, blah, blah, blah. That was weird. Cat hair everywhere. So on the latest trip, Inez is, I think, like 18 or 19 years old, something like that. And she gets a letter saying that her parents have gone missing and are presumed dead. And so she decides that she's going to go looking for them. And she does. So what comes next is her trying to figure out what happened to her parents, where they went, what their last times were, why they did what they did, the mystery of their disappearance. And she finds out a lot more about their work, and it wasn't always what she thought it was. And she gets a little mixed up with some dicey characters. There's some interesting situations. It is all set in Egypt. I really enjoyed this book quite a bit. One of the rare YA books that I actually liked. And Inez as a character, she's just, I think, so likable because she has no clue what she's doing. You know, she walks into this thinking that her parents' stories have prepared her, but she has no idea what she's doing, but she's still plucky and she's still going out there and doing her thing, and, you know, screw everybody else. I don't care. You're not telling me what to do. And she's always like running off and doing her thing. There are a couple of too stupid to live occasions, but you know, that's okay. And the ending was a little surprising to me. I was not expecting, one of the twists I was expecting, but one of them I was not. So I said it kind of ends a little bit on a cliffhanger. And I have the second book, and I was like, I cannot wait to find out what happens. Well, apparently I can, because I did not read it yet. I gave that 4 stars too, I believe. Yep, sure did. Okay, Everyone on This Train is a Suspect by Benjamin Stevenson, which is the sequel to Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone. So now we have Ernest, who is a best-selling author because he wrote a book, obviously. It's very meta.
Yeah.
Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone is a book that Ernest wrote about his book. Anyway, so he is on a kind of a tour. He's on a train, so it's really a another locked door kind of mystery. There is this train trip where he is on a panel of murder mystery authors, and people have bought, you know, premium tickets to be on this train ride. So it's a, like, I don't know, the 4 or 5 day train ride, and there's supposed to be like stops in between, little outings, all that kind of thing. And then they'd have panels with the authors for these people. So there's a huge cast of characters, just like there was in the first one. And of course, somebody ends up dead right off the bat. So everyone on this train is a suspect because it's a locked door murder mystery. Ernest and Julia were the only 2 characters to carry over from the first book. And I think part of what I really enjoyed about the first book was the family dynamics. And that just wasn't here. And then even, like, a lot of the book doesn't even involve Julia very much. So, I don't know. There's a lot of, like, it was in the first book, of Ernest kind of bumbling around and trying to figure out the mystery, and other things happening and people trying to stop him and weird things going on. Ernest has, in this book, kind of gotten a little big-headed over the success of his book, and the fact that he's been involved in this panel, and then that kind of, like, he gets knocked down a little bit from that, so that was kind of a fun scene. But, you know, Ernest, he's always gonna pick himself back up and go on. But I did enjoy it quite a lot. I mean, I thought it was okay. I did just miss that family dynamic, so, but I'll read some more because I like locked door murder mysteries, and this was a good one.
Yeah.
So
he has another one that's out or coming out. So yeah.
Yep. So my last book was my favorite book. No surprise.
Yeah, no.
The Hollow Places by T. Kingfisher. In this book, Kara is newly divorced, out of a bad relationship, really has nowhere to go, and she goes and moves in with her uncle, who owns like a mystery shop, a whatnot. It always
like
Gravity Falls,
yeah.
man.
Antique mystery.
Yeah,
Oddities shop.
Oddities. This Oddities museum, Gravity Falls. It is Gravity Falls all over, and oh my god, that was like prime when my kids were growing up. Yeah, I love that show too. Anyway, she used to help her uncle out a lot, and he's currently having some health problems, and she needs a place to stay. So win-win for everybody. She'll come and help him with the place, and he can kind of take it easy and recover. Well, shortly into it, he has a major health event and has to go to the hospital, and ends up staying with Kara's mom, who she does not get along with, to recuperate, leaving Kara alone in the shop to run the place. And strange things start to happen. She finds this hole in the wall, and when she and her friend, can't remember his name, Simon, when they go through the hole in the wall, they find themselves in a different reality, one that is very spooky and strange and creepy and unsettling, and in some cases very disgusting. Very gory. It was yucky.
It was amazing.
It was yucky, and I loved it. But honestly, what they call it? It's not the other place. Oh God, I forgot. It's the Glory to God Museum of Natural Wonders, Curiosities, and Taxidermy. Because her Uncle Earl, was very religious, but his own special form of Christianity, which was very funny. I can't remember what they called the other place. Anyway, doesn't matter. That was all very creepy and nasty, but honestly, what scared me the most is when they came back. And oh God, I can't say.
Nope, you can't. But it's creepy.
But oh my God. Holy shit, that terrified me. Absolutely terrified me. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. She knows what I'm talking about.
I do, yeah.
And the end, I loved the end. I love how Kara figured out what was going on, and yeah, I loved it so much. 5 stars. The recent book that gave me nightmares. It's always a T. Kingfisher book that gives me nightmares. I swear. The Hole in the Wall, people. The Hole in the Wall. Oh, and oh God, I can't say. The end. I loved the end.
It was fantastic.
Taxidermy.
Taxidermy.
I love it. Okay. Well, that's it for me. Holy crap.
Wow. Okay, well, I'm going to have to pause this and restart. I don't actually know how much we have left on the time after all of that, Kelly, but
I know, and I even tried to keep it short. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
There was just so much.
There was. Mine will be very short, okay, because a lot of them are series and things, and I can't say too much. So these are the books that I read for Summerween. If you watch those videos, I already pretty much talked about all of my thoughts on these books, what they're about. So I'm not really going to go into too much details about them now, just because I already did. If you want to know, go watch the videos, some Summerween videos, because those were like reading vlogs, and I'm like updating as I go, and it's, you get the whole thing, guys. But definitely read this one, and this one's pretty good for a fantasy book. You could skip these two. I don't know, if you're bored you could read them, but I'm not gonna recommend
I think I'm still gonna have to read this one.
I think you still do. Yeah, go ahead and take it. Because I don't know, you might like it better than me. It's not terrible. It's not a terrible book. It just wasn't what I was wanting. Like, I wanted something a little bit more like funny and like just fun. and one of the...
You wanted funny and fun from Stephen Graham Jones?
Well, yeah. I know, that was probably where I went wrong.
Yeah, probably.
But I mean, like, I really enjoy, like, a lot of his other books they're fun to read because, you know, there's a lot of just pictures being painted and mutilations and just
random blood splashing. That just is just like,
it's amazing. It's great. But that one, I don't know, that one just wasn't, it wasn't
I can just see him at like his typewriter going while blood's like
100%. 100%.
Did you see that?
Is it like a sequel?
I don't think it's a sequel, but
Just another book. But it looks good. Nothing But Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Clare. I don't know if
interesting. It is a very creepy cover. Looks like it would give me nightmares, so you see it?
Yeah. We're gonna have to look it up and see.
We are going to find it on Goodreads right now so I can add it to my list.
Oh, it does not have very good ratings.
It doesn't. I don't know what that one does. It's a gorgeously creepy haunted house tale steeped in Japanese folklore and full of devastating twists.
It sounds amazing.
A something era mansion, Heian? Sure. Stands abandoned, its foundations resting on the bones of a bride and its walls packed with the remains of the girl's sacrifice to keep her company. It's the perfect wedding venue for a group of thrill-seeking friends. But a night of food, drinks, and games quickly spirals into a nightmare, for lurking in the shadows is the ghost bride with a black smile and a hungry heart, and she gets lonely down there in the dirt.
I'm so in. I want to read this.
I think a lot of criticisms that I saw for The Salt Grows Heavy was the style of the writing. Because she likes her big words.
Yeah.
She does like her big words. So
that's fair, but it was still such a good story. Like, how can you be mad about a mermaid that wants to go through and eat all the men out of every place that she goes through? Are you kidding me?
Well, like anybody.
Well, yes, true, but like she's straight up just like, I'm gonna marry this prince or whatever, and then I'm gonna eat him, or I'm gonna have babies and they're gonna eat him.
I don't think that's quite how that went. She was forced into marrying him. She didn't go in with a plan.
Well, no, but like
she was forced. You know, like the fairy tale of the fisherman who catches, and you know. So she was forced to. But when she had children,
I like my version.
She brought them up to like take over.
Yeah.
And her idea of taking over is destroy everybody and eat them.
Yeah, we're gonna be reading Nothing But Blackened Teeth for sure. Yeah, so that takes care of that one. We already talked a little bit about Zombie Bake-Off, my disappointment. Ace of Shades was the surprise of the whole Summerween reading that I did, because I didn't realize it was a fantasy when I picked it. I'm gonna preface that. It is a fantasy book. But hello, Miss Pen.
Sweetheart. Hello, fat girl.
Look at her, Missy girl.
Come up to share your hair.
Oh, of course. Of course.
So look up, baby, look up. There she is.
Oh, hello. Miss girl.
She very much likes to plop herself in the middle of everything and then can proceed to ignore you.
Yes.
That's like one of her favorite things ever.
It's a calico thing.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, we're purring.
Hi, baby.
Look at that.
Hi, baby girl.
Okay. So yeah, this was a surprise of all of them because, like I said, it was a fantasy. I generally do not like fantasy. I don't want to say that because I do like some fantasy. Fantasy and I don't always get along just because my brain cannot like imagine the worlds and things that you need to imagine when you're reading a fantasy book. But this one I thought was like really well done. I enjoyed the kind of like the magic in it. It was semi well explained, I feel like, and there was like a decent amount of threat throughout the book to help you be like, oh my gosh, like what's gonna happen.
Don't blame me.
And there was a really cute romance.
The romance.
The romance. The will they won't they. Oh my gosh, I just don't know. It was cute.
Hint, they will.
Or will they? Book 2 will let you know. I don't know.
They will.
But yeah, no, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It surprised me, but in a good way. For once. And then every value break was your very typical thriller, like very, I don't know, like run-of-the-mill thriller, nothing too exciting, until the end where I was like, what the heck am I reading right now? Because we went off the deep end, and my hatred for some characters in this book only intensified to the point where I almost hated the book. Oh. Like, it was like, oh my god. But I was like, I could not believe, like, it was predictable. Like, I knew like who was behind the things that were happening in this, and I'm like, yeah, I totally called it. But what was happening, the why of it all, that got me. Like, oh, this is deeper than I thought. That's crazy. So that's why it got a 3.5 star instead of just like a 3 or whatever, because that whole part at the end was like, oh, wild. And then we have The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenna Han and It's Not Summer Without You. I'm going to talk about them together because, you know, part of the whole same series. But we have Isabel Conklin, who goes by Belly, and every summer her and her mom and her brother,
don't be fooled, don't be fooled, she's showing the belly like she wants it, but she doesn't.
Her and her mother and her brother all go to Cousins, which is like a beachy town, a rich beachy town on the East Coast, whatever. They always go vacation there every single summer with her mom's best friend and her 2 sons, Jeremiah and Conrad. And that's just kind of been their tradition ever since Belly was little. And Belly has always had a crush on Conrad, the older brother, and all of that, and it kind of just follows Belly falling for Conrad and just like this little, I don't know, the little romance that's going along with that, and all the drama with her and the brothers, and just, I don't know, her summer spent at Cousins. It's very YA-esque. The show is so much better. The books are terrible. The books are not good. They really aren't. So, they just read very young. But the, I don't know. The show also kind of is like, yeah, like, you know, it's weird to be sitting here as a 30-year-old and rooting for like 20-year-olds to like be together. Like, I don't know. It's but I love it. I love the show so much. And that's why I read the books, because I was like, well, they have to be good if the show's this amazing, and they're really not. If you watch the show, you can totally skim the books because the show follows the books almost exactly. So I read these books like really, really fast. But I don't know. I'm not mad that I read them, because now I know how it's all gonna end, and I can't wait to see it. And I did enjoy seeing like how it stacked up to the show and all of that, but yeah, I don't know. It's more of just like for the vibe of it all, and not so much because they're good books. And then we have Scythe and Sparrow by Brynne Weaver, which is the 3rd book in, the Ruinous Love trilogy, I think is what it's called.
I think so. Sounds right.
Yeah. So in this book, we get the story behind Fionn and Rose and how they end up together and stuff, and it was really cute. And I still gave it 3 stars, okay, because like these books, these books are not great. Like, they're very, like, your general book talk romance books. So for me, that means, like, they're not, like, the best books in the world. But I will say, Dr. Fionn Kane, he might be my favorite brother. Oh, and this book had a raccoon in it. Barbara, I think was her name. That was like one of my favorite characters in the whole book, and she's getting her own spin-off.
The raccoon?
The raccoon. She's getting her own book. It's coming out, and I'm so excited. But yeah, it was a fun time. I enjoyed it. It's not, like I said, the best book that you're ever gonna read. There were some good spice scenes in it. Of course, there's been some really spicy scenes throughout all of the books.
I'm poking the bear.
Yeah, she is.
I was filming a little earlier because Penny was really watching Amy and her hand motions, and I really thought I was going to get a bear attack.
Now she's just throwing the books on the ground. Pen girl.
She's getting a little feisty.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm glad that I finished out the series.
Hey, stop that. Not the books.
Not the books, Pen. Not the books. You can lay on them. Be good.
Goodness gracious. What got into you all of a sudden? I know. You're gonna be feisty like that, I'll be feisty back.
But yeah, I don't know. I didn't hate my time. I enjoyed it, and like I said, love Fionn. The audiobooks are still the way to go with these books, though. Let me tell you, the accents, my goodness.
Yeah.
My goodness. There were some parts I could not listen to that at work. The accent was really doing it for me. Then we have the 3 books in the Finlay Donovan series that I read. Finlay Donovan jumps the gun, rolls the dice, and digs her own grave. So these books, it started out with Finlay Donovan, who is a mystery romance author, and one day she's sitting in a Panera or a coffee shop somewhere and talking to her publicist, editor, I don't even remember what her title is, but she's talking to her about her new upcoming book and about like the murders and the things that are going to be happening, and how she like is talking about this woman whose husband she needs to get rid of, and like all of that. And this other lady who's sitting at a different table overhears this conversation and starts to think that Finlay is something that she is not. She is convinced that Finlay is an assassin and this other woman, needs help getting rid of her own husband. So she gets into contact with Finlay and is like, hey, I need to take care of my husband. And then that just leads to her getting mixed up with the mafia and with the cops and this like all of these things, this whole journey. It's a wild ride. There's so many people, so many bad people involved in all of this. And it's been such a fun journey. I have loved it so much from beginning to now. Every single book has kept me like so interested, and I freaking love her hot cop boyfriend. He is the absolute freaking best. Oh my gosh. Yeah. He is. Yeah, so you have that fun little romance thrown in, really great mystery, a lot of like the threat, it feels real. It's like not a realistic threat, but like it feels real as you're reading is what I'm meaning, because like what kind of a mom of 2 and book author is gonna be involved with the scary mafia, but whatever. And yeah, it's just a great time. I highly recommend all of the books in this series. I freaking love them. They're so freaking good. And then finally we have The Monstrumologist by Rick Yancey. This was a book that was recommended to me by a friend, and it is about a 12-year-old boy named Will Henry who starts to or who is the assistant to this like very eccentric doctor. He's like not a doctor, he's a doctor, but also he calls himself a monstrumologist So he's like a doctor of monsters and like creepy things, like a scientist, and he tries to really explore the world of monsters and things like that. And his name is Dr. Walthrop. And in this first book, they have to hunt down and kill a horde of monsters that are going to like try and take out the people in the town. Like there ends up being this murder that happens, and it is like such a gruesome scene, and the cops kind of know that Dr. Walthrop is knows what he does. He's very well known in the area, but not a lot of people like associate with him, kind of a situation, but everyone knows like what he does, and it's kind of one of those things where they're like, well, we don't believe in what you do until it happens to us, and now like, oh, we need your help, kind of a situation. And so they the cops come and ask for his assistance in trying to figure out like what the heck happened, and it just leads them down this crazy journey, and it gets so intense towards the end. They're like literally in these tunnels and these caves and things to try and get rid of these monsters that are killing people all around town. And there's a lot. Poor Will Henry, man. Will Henry goes through it in this book. It was a pretty good journey. And the audiobook was really quick to get through, just because like I needed to figure out what was gonna happen next. And there are more books in this series. I think the next one is The Curse of the Wendigo that I'm gonna continue on and read.
So are they like adult horror books, or is it like a children's book, or?
I think they're YA books.
Okay, because I'm like, a 12-year-old main character kind of gives you children's books vibes.
Yeah,
but yet it doesn't have to be.
I think they're YA horror books.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're still pretty good. The way Rick Yancey writes, and I think this is the only reason why I didn't give it a higher rating, is just because of the way he writes. It reminds me a lot of how Ray Bradbury writes. In like with
okay, yeah, I remember. Yeah, you texted me.
Like Something Wicked This Way Comes and The Monstermologists have a very similar like style of writing. Okay. In my brain, like when I was reading it, I'm like, this could easily be a Bradbury book.
Well, and that's the thing, because the two main characters in that book are like 12-year-old boys, and it's not a children's book at all.
Yeah, but it was good. And like I said, I'm going to continue on with the series. So I think that was everything that I read. It might not be, but that's where I'm stopping.
That's all she can remember.
That's all I can remember, because I failed at writing books down or recording them in my Goodreads, so I might have read more, and I just don't know.
Did as well. I really thought I was gonna get her attacking Amy, but
not today.
Then she lost it. But she's been a little feisty. She's been over here like not really attacking books, but like hugging them, like trying to draw them in so she can hug them. Like, I don't know what she's in. There's no catnip up here, so I don't know what the heck. Alright.
Well, yeah. Go ahead and we'll get this video all wrapped up. That's everything we read in June and July.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
It's a lot. We promise.
No, don't do that.
Nope.
That will jinx it from the get-go.
We are going to try and do better about videos here lately. So,
yes, because we have like a cozy fall reads. I was getting that mixed up with the spooky one, because some of the ones that I was thinking of are not cozy fall reading recommendations. A buddy read coming up.
A book club.
Eventually.
Kelly's got to choose both the book club and the buddy read.
Okay, I seriously had the book club book like out on top, so I could just whip it out and say, here's what we're reading, and then I buried it. So,
oh no.
I think I really buried it. Dang. Such problems. Alright, we'll just pretend like I had it on top, and we're just gonna whip it out. Our next book club, which will be in September, we're still skipping August. So in the month of September, we will be reading, because I know we both have it, How to Solve Your Own Murder by Kristen Perrin.
Ooh.
That's what we're going to be reading.
Another murdery book.
So we're going to be reading there, and I think for our buddy read at the end of this month, we're going to be reading Green Teeth by Molly O'Neill. Because we have been reading buddy reads of books, genres I really aren't my thing. And we haven't had a lot of buddy reads. Except for
the Buffalo Hunter.
Except for.
Yeah. So let's not forget.
Yeah, let's not forget.
Buddy read.
Yeah. But this is about a Jenny Greenteeth, which in folklore is like a lake monster. And so Jenny is living in the lake, and one day she gets disturbed by a witch who gets thrown into her lake by the townspeople that are obviously trying to, you know, kill the witch kind of thing. And I believe it comes about Jenny decides to help this witch. So the lake monster and the witch are pairing up to do whatever it is they're gonna do. So obviously a folklore book, but monsters and witches as well. So I think that's what we're gonna play next.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Yep.
So definitely don't want to miss out on those videos. And you know what the best way to make sure that you don't miss out on videos
What is the best way, Amy?
To subscribe to the channel!
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, go on down, hit that red subscribe button, and then that way you can be a part of the Everyday Adventure family and you don't miss out on any of our amazing upcoming book videos.
No, there you go.
Exactly.
You know how else you can keep track?
How?
Well, we have Instagram.
We do.
And TikTok.
We do! You're right!
Oh my gosh!
Yes, at Everyday Epic Book Club on Instagram and TikTok. We have additional content over there for you guys to go and check out. If you think our YouTube videos are just not enough for you, which I understand, we're amazing, and why wouldn't you want to see more of us?
What are you doing? Yo! Look at her now. She's like,
she's pouting.
I'm ignoring you guys now.
She's pouting.
You guys suck.
Yeah. The tail flick in my face.
Yep. You guys suck. I'm not looking at you.
Yeah. Look at the camera. Oh, Penny.
Oh my goodness. That was interesting. She's not a graceful cat. Could you move your head? Maybe. Just a little bit. No. Screw you, I'm getting ripped. I don't trust you right now. Dang. Feisty thing. Alright. She gets me every time. Anyway, yes, you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok as well to see what we're up to over there, or at least what Amy's up to, because I fail to post regularly.
It's okay, I haven't been doing it
or like ever.
Anyway.
Okay, yeah. So also, the YouTube channel is not just all about books. So if you're interested in other content, Amy also has videos on cleaning and organizing and shopping hauls, and at this time of year, all things spooky. And she also has cats at her house as well, so you can see all that feistiness going on. Although I think her cats love her a little better than mine does me. So you can see all kinds of other content over on her channel, so go, you know, watch all that stuff. And if that's still not enough, she has a blog as well, where you can see features like Watch It Wednesdays and Foodie Fridays. So there's a whole bunch of stuff you can check out and follow along with us and be a part of the entire Everyday Adventurer family.
Yeah. Never a dull moment here in this family, let me tell you. But alright, I think that's going to do it for us today.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this video, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye. Say bye, Penny.
Bye! Oh, God.